Charmed Lives. Lesson 7a, page 69. Hi everybody, how are you all? Hello, and welcome again to our new English video lesson. Now, as we already learned, bring your pen and book and pay attention as we are going now to start a new lesson in this series. Now, are you ready? Let's start our journey. Starter. Look at the following picture. Do you know this person? What do you know about him? Yes, excellent. This is Mr. Binorawan Atkinson, as you might know. What else do you know about him? He is from England. He is an actor. He is in the late 50s. So, our objectives today are: 1. To read about some famous persons and answer the questions that follows. 2. To listen for specific information. 3. To write 6 sentences about the life of a famous person, a mini biography. Now, open your books, page 69, look at the title of the lesson. What is the title of the lesson? Charmed Lives. Do you know the meaning of charmed? Excellent, well done. Just as you said. It means beautiful, wonderful, great, awesome. So, we are going to read about the lives of some famous persons. And why does he describe their lives as charmed? Bear that in mind as long as we are getting deep into our lesson. Now look at the following pictures and think, do you know any of these people? He looks like an Arab. He is wearing black glasses. Perhaps he cannot see. He has dark skin. I think he is from Africa. I think he was a president of some country. She is a foreigner. Maybe she is English or American. Now, let's open our books, turn to page 69 and see if our guessings were right or no. Read only the first passage, number A, and try to find what these numbers refers to. 1889. 3. 1932. 1973. You have 5 minutes. let's check our answers. 1889 date of birth. Taha Hussein was born in 1889. 3 became blind at the age of 3. 1932 he wrote a novel Al-Ayyam, An Egyptian Childhood. 1973 he died in 1973. 'Now, let's dig more deep and find more about Taha Hussein. Let's read the passage again and try to fill in the table below. You have 5 minutes to complete this task. Taha Hussein, known as the Dean of Arabic Literature, is one of the most important Arab writers. He was born on 14th November, 1889 in the village of Isbet el Kilo, in Al-Minya, Egypt. Even though an eye infection left him blind at the age of 3, he was an excellent student. He studied religion and Arabic literature and got a PhD from the Sorbonne, in France. When he returned to Egypt, he worked as a professor of Arabic literature at the University of Cairo. He then wrote many novels and essays. He is best known for his autobiography, Al-Ayyam, published in English as An Egyptian Childhood, 1932. He died in Cairo in 1973. Now, let's check our answers. Taha Hussein was blind. Taha studied religion. Arabic literature. Novel, long story. Childhood. Die. Taha Hussein was blind. Taha Hussein was blind. Taha Hussein was blind. Taha studied religion. Taha studied religion. Taha studied religion. Arabic literature. Arabic literature. Arabic literature. Arabic literature. Novel, long story. Novel, long story. Novel, long story. Childhood. 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 Die. 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 Now let's have a quick look at the next two persons. Read and try to answer the following questions. Finally, look at X. For page 69 and write A, B or C. You have 5 minutes. One, his person was born in an English-speaking country. 2, this person was blind. 3, this person was a shepherd. 4, this person studied at university. 5, this person was a teacher in another country. 6, this person is a well-known author. Now, check your answers. Listen again and answer the questions. Nelson Mandela was born in a small village in Africa on 18 July, 1918. There were no schools in his village. The wonderful fields of Africa were his school. When he was about 5 years old he was a shepherd. Sometimes there wasn't enough food and he was often hungry. But Mandela was a good student and very clever. He moved to the city when he was a young man and studied law at university. From 1994 to 1999, he was the President of South Africa. J. K. Rowling was born in Bristol, England on July 1965. She was very popular at school and was class leader in her final year. Later on, she worked as an English teacher in Portugal. One day, she was in a cafe in Scotland with her young daughter. She had an idea for a story about a young boy called Harry Potter. Soon Harry Potter was one of the most famous wizards in the world. Determine if these sentences are true or false and correct the false ones. You have 5 minutes. 1. Nelson Mandela was a very rich man. 2. Mandela worked as a shepherd. 3. Mandela studied medicine. 4. In 2000 Mandela became the President of South Africa. Five. J.K. Rowling is English. 6. Rowling was not liked in school. 7. She worked as an English teacher in Scotland. 8. Rowling got the idea of Harry Potter in a cafe. 'Hungry'. Hungry. 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 Faculty of Law. 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 Shepherd. 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 Now, check your answers. Time to think. Since we are speaking about biographies, which subjects in school do you think tells us about the lives of people in the past? History. Challenge yourself. Why do you think we need to read about the lives of famous people and write about it? If I ask you to write about a famous person, who will you choose and why? Listen now to a program about the life of Sean Connery and write true or false. 1. Sean Connery was born in Ireland on 25 August 2. He joined the Navy when he was 16. 3. He worked as a bricklayer and a postman. 4. His favorite pastime was bodybuilding. 5. Sean Connery was 21 years old when he had his first big success. 6. His first Bond film was Dr. No.
Exercise 7B, page 69. Listen and tick the correct box.
Sean Connery is one of the most famous actors of our time. He's not just a star, he's a superstar. Sean was born in Scotland on the 25th of August 1930. He left school at an early age, and when he was 16, he joined the Navy. He left the Navy 3 years later and worked at a number of jobs, including working as a bricklayer and a milkman. As a young man, Sean was interested in bodybuilding, a pastime that eventually started his acting career. But it wasn't until 1958, when Sean was 28 years old, that he had his first big success in a film called Another Time, Another Place. It was another 4 years before Sean shot to fame as the now world-famous James Bond secret agent 007 in the first Bond film, Dr. No. The rest, as they say, is history. Today, after 40 years in show business, Sean Connery's acting career is as strong as ever. And though he has made some excellent films since his 007 days, most people would agree that Sean Connery was the best Bond ever.
B, page 69. Listen and tick the correct box.
Sean Connery is one of the most famous actors of our time. He's not just a star, he's a superstar. Sean was born in Scotland on the 25th of August 1930. He left school at an early age, and when he was 16, he joined the Navy. He left the Navy 3 years later and worked at a number of jobs, including working as a bricklayer and a milkman. As a young man, Sean was interested in bodybuilding, a pastime that eventually started his acting career. But it wasn't until 1958, when Sean was 28 years old, that he had his first big success in a film called Another Time, Another Place. It was another 4 years before Sean shot to fame as the now world-famous James Bond secret agent 007 in the first Bond film, Dr. No. The rest, as they say, is history. Today, after 40 years in show business, Sean Connery's acting career is as strong as ever. And though he has made some excellent films since his 007 days, most people would agree that Sean Connery was the best Bond ever.
If we want to write a biography about a famous person, what shall we write about? After reading about these people, Choose a person of your own and try to write 6 sentences about him. You can consult the previous reading passage in your student book as a guideline.
Just before you go, try this little quiz about our new words. Hope you enjoyed our lessons for today. Waiting for your questions and comments.
That's all for now. Hope you enjoyed our lesson for today. See you next time.